Yeah, there you go.
Thank you. So again, I want to say thank you for you to join this meeting. So I was saying that, unfortunately, a couple of people passed away in the community. So that was tough. Before 2017, 2018, we lost in the span of 5 years, I'll say 5 people. In the span of 5 years in Minnesota here in the Twin Cities, we lost 5 people in the span of 5 years. And at the time, you know how it goes. We kind of pitch in, help each other, but it's never enough, right? So in 2018, we lost another person. That was too much. So that's when I decided to kind of go back and do some research and understand how I can set up the life insurance for everybody, regardless of whether people have life insurance or not. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it falls back on the community to provide and provide that assistance that everybody needs. So talking to you, yesterday I was saying that we cry 3 times, right, when we lose somebody. First, you lost a loved one. That's hard. And then you cry again because you don't have the financial support to bury that person. And then you cry the 3rd time because that person is gone, but then the children left behind, they don't have anything. So this is what kind of brought me into this. Okay, so to clarify, I'm not an insurance agent trying to sell insurance to people. No, my job is to educate people and also share what I know and make sure that all the communities, specifically African communities, immigrant communities, can benefit from the group life insurance that we put together. Because at the end of the day, the more people we have, the less we pay, and the more benefit we get. So this is what I wanted to share to begin with before I share my screen and show you some of the progress that we made with the Ivorian community and how we can expand what we're doing with different communities, not only in Minnesota, but also across the entire country. So I want to stop here to see if you have some questions before I jump into the presentation. And if possible, hear from you as well.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for the presentation. And you made mention about you not being an insurance agent, and that brings me to the point where I found myself, because I was trying to use this as a bird, as a stone to kill 2 birds. I really wanted to find something to help my people at the same time, looking for that thing. I think we'll be able to help my people, and at the same time, use it as a means of income for the association, not for me in particular. But I want the association to benefit. For the association to be like an agent that is giving a lot of people out there, and then they put in the association back. That's what I was looking at.
That's a good point. I always like to provide this disclaimer so there's no confusion. I work with an insurance company, right? But what I mean by that, it's not my job to kind of get too deep into certain criteria when it comes to insurance. My job is to work with my community and then work with insurance company. That's kind of what the organization does, right? But don't get me wrong, we'll get to that level. And maybe that can clarify a couple of things for me. So I'll share my screen and let me know if you can see my screen.
Sure.
Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, I can see the screen, yeah.
Okay. So again, come on. It's not easy to work on just one screen. I'm used to having multiple screens.
Yeah, they don't close that off. No, not that one. Yeah, you need to close that off. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
Yep. Okay. Okay, here we go. So this presentation is basically the same presentation that I provide to everybody. So this one is dated May 14, but it's still the same content. And that content is still valid as of today. So like I said, a little bit of the background is what I told you, September 22nd, September 2017. That's when we lost somebody and we have to, do the fundraising and get that amount. And again, you can see over here, the list of people who contributed. And this is my name over here with, again, somebody else in the community doing the same thing. And we were able to raise about $15,000 just for the burial. So again, you understand that, when it comes to burial, we're talking cemetery, cost for the cemetery, and also cost for the funeral home. So this is, what is the average right now in Minnesota.
Yeah, 50. Wow.
And so you see over here, this is the list of people that passed, lost a loved one. And this is just 2023. But again, like I said, our organization has based their objectives and mission on how we solve this issue. How do we solve this problem when a loved one passed away? How do we come together to really, really resolve this issue? So that's one of our mission statements. And so for us, it's about bring people together. That's one. But at the end of the day, it's how we can actually create that system and support our people. But it's not only, when somebody passes away, but it's also about financial literacy. It's also about access to housing. It's also about how we leave something, to our future generation. What, people call over here generational wealth. How do we do that? So basically, this is what we do. So coming straight to the point for the group life insurance, we started this benefit with short-term disability, long-term disability, and of course, life and accidental death that is implemented since November 2019. So as of today, we're still looking for more benefit. And of course, how we get to that level to provide more coverage to our people.
So all of these benefits listed, are they given to your people as of now?
Yeah, just 1 second. I'll try to. Yeah, I'm back. There's a lot of background noise, so I'm having a hard time to hear you. Yep.
Yeah, I'm seeing all the benefits listed here. I say, so if you become a part of this, these benefits will be to you.
Exactly. So life, the 1 and 2, we have it covered already.
Okay.
Short-term disability, we have it covered already. This is actually active as of today. Long-term disability, we have it active as of today. Legal services, we also activated that. And then the next step is vision, dental coverage that we want to provide to people, right? So again, we're doing this as an organization. Think about it in terms of where you work. At your workplace, they provide those benefits as well. How do we do it? Basically, that's our job. That's why I was saying that for us to make sure that we're on the same page, I'm not the insurance agent. I work as an organization. How do I provide benefit to my people? So that's where I come in, right? And so just to move on, so I hope you can see my screen here.
Yeah, sure.
When we first started, we know we did some due diligence, and I understand that over here, everything is in French, but I can translate. The average cost for a funeral in the United States is about 15,000. And so we were trying to get at least 10,000. And as we kind of, started to go through the entire process, at the beginning, we started with 15,000, but what we wanted to get at is actually 50,000 if possible. So for us to get to that level, you know, it's about how we negotiate with the insurance company and also how we can, you know, provide that information to our communities so people can participate. In terms of short-term disability, like I said, we started this already. It's already active and it pays you 60% of your salary as of today. So if you're making, let's say, $1,000 a year, a week, it will pay you 60% of that 1,000. So the maximum the insurance is paying is $1,000 per week right now. For long-term disability, same deal. We have about 5,000 maximum per month, but we're paying about 60% benefit of your salary, of course. So when we started, you know, we started with very few people, but as of today, we have about 112 people participating in the group. And that, if you look at the breakdown, if you're age 18-64, you get 25,000 benefit. If you're age 65-69, 16,500, 70-74 years old, 11,000. And if you're 75 plus, then it goes down to 7,500. So the reason for that is the type of contract that we chose and how we can actually get more people to benefit from it. So far we had only one person, like I said, one family that benefited from that policy already, and 7 families who benefited from the short-term disability. And then how to enroll, of course, you know, we take care of almost all the paperwork, right? We kind of go to this basic over here, and I can, you know, let you know, for the first year, it's $130 per person. And then after the second year, it's $80 per year. So the breakdown is $50 for registration fee. There's a $20 fee for administrative fee because we do have to take care of paperwork. And then the insurance stands at $60 per month right now. Of course, these are paperwork that comes with it as a certificate of insurance to provide proof that, you know, what we're saying is true. It's not just, you know, a joke. And of course, we do have the policy that comes also that clearly indicates, you know, the maximum amount that somebody can get. So far we are in 13 states. So these are the states where the members are located right now, 13 states. And again, as we go, as of May, this is how many people are participating. This is just a recap of what I just said earlier. And this is the bill that we're paying to the insurance every month to make sure that everybody's covered. This is a budget that I kind of break down, but you know, over here, I won't spend too much time on it because the most important thing is how you register, how you get the $60 and how you get the $20. Basically, this is what I wanted to share with you, and of course, allow you to ask some questions. I will try to see if I can answer to those questions again today.
So with the first year, you're talking about $160.
Yeah.
$160. So when you pay the $160, you don't pay any other thing again until the year ends.
Is that 160 or 110?
It's 130.
130. Okay, 130.
Yes. 130.
So you
And
don't
can you-
pay.
We're talking about so for the first year it's 130. So the breakdown is $50, $20, and $60 for that.
So my question is, if I pay the 130, I'm not paying anything until that year ends, right?
There's some background noise. I'm having a hard time to hear you. Can you repeat your question, please?
If I pay the 130, I'm not going to pay any other thing until the year ends.
So the 130 is just for the first year only. Is
Yeah,
that what you're asking?
If I pay the 130,
Yeah,
anything only?
Oh, this is for the life insurance. So for the life insurance, this is just for the life insurance. So if you're talking like short-term disability and long-term disability, that's a completely different cost.
So I'm
This
just
is
saying,
$30.
if I'm just want to enroll in a life insurance and I gave you the 160, I'm not.
No, it's not 160, Mike. It's 130. I
130,
thought I
yeah.
heard 130 first.
130.
Yeah.
If I pay the 130, I'm
Yeah.
not paying any other thing until the year ends. Or do I have to?
Exactly. There's
Oh.
nothing more for you to pay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can you
There's
please
nothing
go,
more for you to pay.
can you please go over the breakdown again of that? How it's paid?
Yep.
Right there, Edith. It's
Right
20.
here,
Where?
this one. So we have $50. You have $50. You have $20, and you have $60.
60.
Yeah, 60. So 50, 20, 60.
Only 60. Only 60.
Okay.
So it comes to 130 a year for the first year. You are
Exactly.
in the
Only
first
for
year.
the first year.
Then the
Yep.
second year, you're not paid out all the money. You won't be paying $80
Yes. And I
every
can
year
clarify
now.
that. Yeah, because you register only one time. You don't register multiple times. You only register one time.
So
And
then,
that's why the second year is $80.
so then moving forward, it's always going to be $80 regardless of your age.
Yes.
Yes.
So
The only problem is the only problem is this. So everybody pays the same premium, but depending on your age, for now, this is where we are. See, if you're aged 18 to 64, it's $25,000. If you're aged 65, 69, then the benefit comes down to 16,000, and then 11,000. Yeah,
we pay the same amount, but the benefit and the benefit is not even.
yes, the
It's
benefit is not even because of the age. Yep. It's based on the age of the person.
The person who will die if your age is between 18 to 65, that person will get a person from 25,000.
Right.
That person who died his age is between 65 to 69, they will get 16,000.
Yep.
If the age is 70 to 74, they get 11,000. 74, 75 and above is 7,000.
That's
But they
correct.
pay the same $80 every year.
Is this a term life insurance or whole life?
It's a term life because we're a group. It's just like the life insurance that you have in terms of benefit at your workplace.
Okay.
That's the way that it works. Yeah. Of
So
course, you know, like I said, because we started small, that's why we're at this stage right now. Our goal is to grow. And it depends on how many people we have too. So if we have more people, of course, we can go back and change those numbers. When I showed you the first time when we started, it was 15,000. We started with 15,000 in 2019. So today we have $25,000 for people aged 18-64. So constantly our job is to make sure that we have more people and we can increase the benefit and keeping that premium as low as possible.
So if the term life, because I know like term life will go by that it has a term limit. So like it's good for 10 years, it's good for 15 years, 5 years.
Yes.
What is this 10 years good for?
So for this one, because we're an organization, it's not based on our age, it's based on the organization. As long as we stick together, it's, you know, it lasts as long as we are together. As long as the organization leaves, those benefits will stay in place.
Okay, so my question, I just want to get that clarification. If I went to get life insurance, right? If it is term life, some company would say, look, you know what? You would pay your insurance up to like 10 years and then you have to reassess.
Yes.
So does it work with this?
No, It doesn't work because we're a group. You see, because we're a group, we come as an organization. We don't come individually in terms of person. So it's the organization that is actually going for those benefits so that the people joining the group don't have to provide a lot of evidence like medical check and things like that. You know, the only thing that they're going to do to make sure that somebody's not dying before they come to the insurance. That's the only risk. But other than that, every year we renew the contract with the insurance company. Every year. So since 2019, like I show you, we have a chance to renegotiate that contract. If we don't like it, we have to say we don't like it, and this is what we're proposing. So just to clarify, the whole life insurance and the term life insurance, when it comes to people individually, it's two different things. The reason being that, you know, based on the individual circumstances, the insurance can say, yes, we'll take you for 10 years, for 20 years. But then after your 10 years or 20 years, you go back to zero again because your age at that time will be high.
So is that in the case of this or it's not?
No, it's not.
Okay, I just want to know that because it's very frustrating.
Yeah, it's not. The only drawback with this one is the number of people. That's why we want more young people who are like between 18 and 64 to participate so that people who are having like 75 years and plus, they get more benefit.
Okay.
That's the strategy, the current strategy right now, until we can allow people to choose the benefit that they want. So I want to clarify something. It's because we started really, really small, to be honest with you. And from where we come from, people don't trust people, right? So we wanted to make sure that people understand how the system works and how we can trust each other. Now, if we do, then we can move to the next stage. The next stage over here is what? Let's say you tell me that 25,000 is not enough, you want more. At that point, we're not going to be paying $5 anymore. How much can you afford for how much benefit you want? But then how do we as an organization, how do we manage all of it? You know, that's a completely different ballgame. That's why we want to make sure that we start small, we grow together, we all understand how the system works, we trust each other more, and then we can get more benefit. Because our goal is to get at least $50,000 by the end of 2025. At least that. That would be the minimum that each family would need, you know, to make sure that they can take care of loved one when people pass away.
I heard you mention like $5. So how did you get that calculation when it's $80 annually after the first year?
So the $5 is because the insurance, the way that we want to go back to the insurance, we take one person and we try as much as we can to make sure that each person is not paying more than $5. So what can we get with $5 for the group? That's how we kind of think about it. Now, each year, like I said, it's $5 per person per month, but for the entire year, it comes up to $60. And honestly, nobody wants to go after anybody in the US just for $5 trying to, you know, get $5 a month. That's why we do it once a year to make sure that everybody's covered.
Yeah,
that's how the calculation is coming.
Sure, you're talking about the calculation. If it is $5 a person a month, a year it would be $60.
Yes.
$80.
Okay, like I said, the $20, that's the administrative
fees for
yeah. Yes, because all of that, we do have to pay some fees to a third party to make sure that each person have their identity really secure. And
okay.
that's where the $80 comes from.
To the $20 to the $60, maybe $80 a year.
Yes.
Administrative fees.
Correct.
Do you have any more questions?
Yep. Go ahead.
Okay, so my question, what's the name of this company?
Hartford.
How you spell that?
Hartford. So HAT
Uh-huh.
and Ford, like FORD.
Okay. And where is the main office located? Is from which state?
Connecticut.
Connecticut?
Well, you get auto insurance too.
Okay. So Connecticut, all right. So you say, and so now my question is, what the fact that the organization is doing this group benefit, what is the benefit for the organization?
Like I said, for us, number one, as leaders, right, we want to
Right.
push people to kind of take part of this program so that we don't have to kind of pay like $300, $500 when somebody passes away. I
Correct.
mean, to be honest, in our community, in the Arab Portland community, we lost like a lot of people. People don't want to participate anymore. Even when they hear that somebody passes away, they have to be really close to that person to kind of react. We don't want to get to that level where people kind of think in terms of money, right? You want to support each other, yes, but it has to come like, freely. Like, we don't want, leaders to kind of go and knock at each door to say, this is a situation we want you to contribute because there's no lack of sense. I think for the organization, that's the biggest thing because we've done it so many times. And especially myself, I've done it like so many times. So at a certain point, you get tired of doing the same thing, going and knocking at people's doors for the same issue. That's one. For individual, it's a peace of mind because we know now that when we're doing that, making that support to each other, it's not just because somebody is in need, but we're doing it for children, for the future generation, or to support the rest of the family. Now we have a real sense of purpose, That's the way that I see it.
Okay. So I just want to get, how, for example, if you have an insurance company and then whoever the middle person is gets some type of percentage, right? So in this case, it's coming from the administration side. Does the administration get any type of benefit as far financially?
No, we do have an insurance agent that we work with, right? And that insurance agent has nothing to do with our organization. Like I said, if you want to get insurance for yourself, you're going to have to go through somebody. That's the system. If you're an organization, you're going to have to go through somebody who has the knowledge, who has the certification. And of course, you do have your administrative, function to make sure that everything is running smoothly. Administratively, this is part of my job, to make sure that every step of the way, we're doing the right thing, right? Just like claims. If somebody passes away and we have to submit a claim, it's part of my job to make sure that that claim is going through and that the family is getting what they need. That's our job. So in terms of benefit, we're not getting any financial benefit as of today to say that, doing what we're doing is what is paying our bills. No. The only thing, like I said, full disclaimer, the $20 is going to pay administrative fees that we're paying just to make sure that our website is running properly, that everybody's data is secured. This is what we're paying right now. Because the more people we get, that bill is growing as well, because we have to pay a third party to capture those data.
Okay. And I'm talking too much. You want to come in because I have some more questions.
No, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Trust me.
That's Guy. That is my president speaking. She is the president for our community.
Okay.
Yeah, so she got a lot of questions because she wants to be able to tell it.
Yep.
She is a spokesman.
And I totally agree. Yep.
Okay. So you say you have maybe like one case and someone that benefited from this insurance process. How tedious it is to get the company to pay? For instance, if there's a death, is it like you know how other insurance, you can just, once you present like the death certificate, they just go ahead, bury the person? Or are we gonna be chasing it and say you bury it? How does it?
Yeah, that's a very good question, right?
Mm.
You know, when that happened the first time,
Mhm.
you know, I followed that process end to end. It's not hard when you get your ducks in a row. That means that, you know, you just follow what the insurance company is asking of you, like, you know, the death certificate, you know, evidence of, you know, identity, of course, making sure that the person that passed away is actually the person we're referring to and not somebody else, making sure that there's no fraud involved, making sure that, you know, we identify who's going to be the beneficiary. Again, the organization is not the beneficiary. If somebody is no longer, then they have their own beneficiary. So these are the beneficiaries who are actually getting all the benefits from it, not the organization. So, but again, our job is to follow that process to ensure that, you know, each family is covered when it comes to them. So that process is really tedious. You have to have somebody who understands the process to follow it from end to end to make sure that, you know, the beneficiary get what they want.
Okay, my question, because you know how this country, you have maybe like a week
Mhm.
at most. Funeral home will give you like 2 weeks to bury. What does it take? How long? Can you give us like a time frame?
Yeah, of course. And it depends on who you're working with, right? Like I said, I've been working with a couple of funeral homes. You negotiate with them. The timeline for the insurance is 2 weeks when everything is kind of, you know, really tight. 2 weeks. It takes only 2 weeks to prepare, you know, the paperwork to make sure that, you know, the checks is in place and that, you know, the family can get the benefits that they need. 2 weeks. Now with the funeral home, again, maybe I've been lucky. I got 3 weeks. I got 4 weeks in the past, but it all depends on how we negotiate and approach each funeral home. Because in reality, they're not spending it down after what they have to. So
Okay, one question before I pause. No, 2 questions. I'm sorry.
go ahead.
So like if someone expires,
Yep.
you call the insurance company, I mean, you call the funeral home. And the
Mhm.
funeral home gonna say, okay, does this person has insurance? You say yes, and the funeral home gonna say, just give her the info. And right there, they start to negotiate with the funeral home and just like they burning everything, they will take care of the funeral home service, everything. Does that work in your case?
Mm-mm.
Because what I'm saying here, I'm trying to prevent us like going to members, trying to ask for donation to say, oh, this body is here, we have to do X, Y, Z. But the insurance that I'm accustomed to, where pretty much you call and it's the look for death certificate, the funeral home contacts the insurance. You don't have, it's like less worried. It's none of your problem. Everything is taken care of while you just focus on like the programming aspect of everything. Does that work in the case of your insurance?
Okay, I get it. You know, and again, you guys live in North.
No, she is not in North. She is in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now I get it because I think that each state is a little bit different when it comes to that. Here in Minnesota, we don't have that time limit to say that you have to, you know, they give you 2 weeks, 3 weeks. If you don't take it, you know, that pressure does not exist as far as I know in Minnesota. All the cases that I kind of stated, we did not have this issue at all. You know, people are really, really understanding. And the other thing is they don't even ask you if you do have insurance or how you, no, they just ask you how you're going to pay for this. Because the first time we did not have insurance, the community raised the money to pay for it. And then when we had the insurance, we just had to get the beneficiary to pay for it. So the money does not go from the insurance to the funeral home or to the cemetery. No, it goes to a beneficiary in our case. Okay, so the beneficiaries are the one actually making the payment. So in the case that we actually followed, that's how it happened. You know, we didn't have to wait for insurance to pay. No, the beneficiary received the check, they made the payment, and were able to to transfer the body back home.
Okay, and then one last question. The question that I have, like, I know you may have touched it, but I just need detailed information. You talked about, I'm trying to find out what is the requirement for an individual to actually be qualified for this insurance, health-wise or physical, anything. What would prevent
Okay,
someone
just-
from not getting this?
Okay, so the number one thing is if somebody is about to expire. Let's say somebody has, we know, 3 months, you know, and that's it. That's a no-no, you know, because that could be construed as fraud. If somebody's not working, you know, and that person, you know, is at home, we cannot accept. So, you know, we assume that when people are going to work, it's because they're still in good health condition. And we want people to be in good health condition before they can participate in a program. So these are the two major things that can disqualify somebody. Now, having said that, let's say we do have our people, our mom, you know, sometimes they're retired and they're at home, they're still valid, they're not working, but it's just because they're retired, they're probably taking care of, you know, the kids, I mean, grandkids or things like that. Yes, at that level, we can kind of accept them because if something happens, it's going to be the community issue. So that we can cover. But if somebody's about to expire, it's a no-no.
So how do you know that the person is working or not? I'm not asking you in particular, but the insurance.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure a certain question the insurance will ask. Maybe they want to see your paycheck for your job. And my mom, who is sitting down here in my case, but I have a paycheck and what I do is show that she's working. So
that's a very good question. Very good question. So it depends on the type of program that you're going for. When it comes to life, until you're, you know, whether you work or not, if you're still alive, you're in good condition, you're okay. In terms of, you can always find a job. But if you want short-term disability, for instance, you need to have a job with a paycheck. Otherwise, if you are making a claim, nobody's going to pay you because it's based on your paycheck. Right.
Okay.
So depending on the program that you're going for, if it's just short-term disability, yes, you do need to have evidence that you're working.
Yeah,
right?
but in this
Because
case,
But what we're looking for is just this
insurance.
for life,
life insurance. That's what we're
yeah, for
interested
life
in.
insurance, all we're saying is somebody has to be in good health. You know, I want to be sure.
So then the insurance is going to request for a health certificate or what?
No, they're not going to ask for it. They have their way to do their background check. I don't know how they do this, but they provide like a timeline. They would say maybe between 2 to 3 months, right? To see if that person is still valid, right? They will do what they have to do in the background. They will do.
Yeah, I think
that's
they come. I think they do
Yeah.
like other insurance. They would do. They would come to your place and
Yeah,
do basic like your blood work.
right.
They check your weight and stuff like that. I don't know if
Yeah.
your insurance
Yeah.
does it.
No, they're not going to get to that extent because of the amount, the benefit that is still low. But after a certain amount, yes, they will come and, you know, do your blood check, draw your
okay.
blood and things like that, right? But because it's still low, they're not going to do it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
it's based on good faith and us as leader putting ourselves in front to say that this person is part of my community, my group, and I know that this person is good health, right? Basically, that's where I need the support of all the leaders. Like in my community, I know my people. If somebody come to me and say, I want life insurance, I'll find out pretty quick because we know each other, right? That's the same way that I work with, you know, different organizations from different states. You know, they're kind of like our eyes, understanding that, you know, if somebody is about to expire, you know, we don't want anybody to go to jail. So it's best that we kind of pitch in and help that person. But by the same token, preventing the next case, you know, driving that message to us to get people enrolled.
I would like to see clarification for that. Like I had a brother who was diagnosed and He was diagnosed in February
Yep.
and expired in March with
Okay,
with aggressive form
yep,
of cancer.
wow,
Never
sorry to
had
hear that.
never had a, he was never exposed like with any symptoms or whatever. The first symptom he started to have when he went to the hospital in a month time, that he was diagnosed and he expired. So how do you, is there a time frame that the person has to be free of illness?
Yes,
Okay, what is that
yes,
time?
it's about 2 to 3 months, and depending on your age too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about 2 to 3 months. So let's say today we are June 17. If somebody wants to participate, usually there's they have a term in insurance. You have to wait, like there's a waiting period. That's the term I'm waiting for. There's a waiting period of 30 days. And then after 30 days, then they'll decide when you'll be eligible.
Okay.
So I think that on the certificate that I show you,
Uh-huh.
on the certificate that I show you, we see over here coverage date is going to show, and then that's how you know. So before you apply, and then until you get to that coverage date, it's going to tell you exactly when you're part of the program.
So how payment is made?
Payment is made through us, and we make the payment to the insurance company.
Like what? Cash,
Oh, we have direct deposit.
direct deposit. Okay. And which institution you deal with?
Wells Fargo.
Wells Fargo's. Okay, I'm trying to do a follow-up question with Mr. Gore's question regarding the others, like
Mhm.
how with the insurance, and I'm only referring to the insurance part. Like you said, there are two major criteria. Like you got to be working and you got to be free of, illness or whatever. So I still need to know, like the others who are now working.
Yes. So I can clarify that. So if
Yes.
somebody's over 65 years old and they're retired, I'm pretty sure that they had a job, right? That's why they're retired.
Right.
Okay. So if somebody retired, it's considered as being, somebody who was working. Now, the case where people never work, because we do have some people who never work in this country. We do have some cases like that. Now,
Uh-huh.
so if these people never work in this country, they never had a paycheck, they never been exposed to, I'll say, our way of life here. Now, the second thing would be if they have, proper documentation to be in this country, like being a citizen or being a permanent resident. So that can help, because then we can actually allow somebody to be part of it. But if you're not working and you're not qualified as a permanent resident or citizen, and you're just in this country, then it's going to be tough. So just to clarify, if somebody is retired, we can accept this person, because that person can still go back to the workforce. Being retired is not bad in itself.
Okay. So we pay one-time fee from what I think I heard, right? Like the $80.
Yep.
All right. So if an individual made a payment and they are out of work, how do you determine, once you made that $80, you cover for the annual year?
Yeah.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
So that's a good question. So every year so we said that the first year is 130. So after that, it's $80 per year. So if somebody doesn't work anymore, how do we make payment? Is that the question?
One question is, like, the criteria is, in order to be on the insurance, you got to be working, and you also, you have to be free of illness. So if I pay my $80 and I do not work, I don't know, you guys track that, or once you pay, there is no tracking until the following year? How does it works?
Oh no, after you are accepted, I want to show you a form over here.
Okay.
Bear with me here. I'm not used to have only one screen, so.
No,
sorry.
it's fine. It's fine. Thank you, dear. Thanks for being so helpful.
So this is our website. Okay, I want to be fully transparent with you over here. Okay. So this is the form that kind of drive this, right? So to
Mhm.
answer your question, this is how each person is kind of, because for the insurance, you have to be employee of this organization. That's how they kind of consider this. And then all the information that we ask
We are
and
not seeing the
provide to the
form.
insurance
We're not seeing
is
the
this
form.
over here.
So, okay.
Yep. Can you see this?
No, we're not
No.
seeing it.
We are not seeing the phone.
No?
Mm-mm.
Let me do this again.
Okay, now.
Now you can see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the form that we use. You see the employee census, right? So that's why I was saying that if you're employed, that's good. Now, if you're retired, that means that you had a job. We can still take that person. That's not a problem. Being retired is like having a job. So if you can see my screen, so these are the information that they're asking for. Right? Occupation title, get a higher input.
Employee class.
Yes, employee class. You're either hourly or salary or self-employed. Then
So
the
most of my
wages.
people be self-employed.
Say that again.
I said most of my people, my old people will be self-employed.
But are they retired?
Yeah, I mean, like our old people from back home that were bring from Africa that are here with us, they're not working.
Yeah, I mean, that's where we have the biggest problem, right? That's what I was trying to explain.
Yeah.
This is where we have the biggest problem. This is where we do have the biggest problem.
So what do you mean?
Because if they're not working, it's hard for us to accept them in the program. If they're not working.
What does the work when you say, like my mom, she's healthy and everything, but she's not working. She's retired, so she cannot work.
So if she's retired, that means that she had an occupation. So the occupation that she hold before retiring is what we can take into account.
Oh, so you use the retirement occupation.
Correct. But if somebody comes from Africa and they never work in this country, then that's a little bit hard. Because like, you're saying, if somebody's coming from Africa that didn't work, it's hard for us to prove that they work in this country.
Okay,
But
so
suppose they come from Africa and they sit in their home and then they have all their paperwork done. They're citizens, or they got a green card.
Yes. So if they have a green card, they're a citizen, and even if they're home and they're doing babysitting or doing some housekeeping work, yeah, we'll take them.
So
but
that,
we
that
cannot
can be,
just
that
say
can be considered a self-employment.
Exactly, self-employed. So if they're self-employed, it's right here.
Yes.
Right? But we cannot just say that somebody's not working. That's the terminology that kind of, we want to get away from.
Okay. So what happened if my mom was on the if I had an older person that was on the insurance, for instance, like my mom, and anyway, I got what you're saying. So if we got her on the insurance, and of course, this year she starts her condition deteriorates, or if I'm on the insurance and my condition deteriorates and something happens to me, and later on now, I already know I have a terminal illness, and the renewal is next year. Would I still be able to renew with my terminal illness?
That's why you register one time. And that's why the first year you pay $130. You
Okay.
register one time. So your condition at the beginning is what counts.
This is what matters. Okay, good.
That's what matters, because we know that's what we're paying insurance for, right? Because otherwise there's no point to get insurance. We're paying insurance to prevent that in the future. So when something like this happens, then we are covered. Because we know one day, one way or another, including myself, we're all, going to be like, deteriorating in a certain way.
Yeah.
So that's why we have insurance. So, that's why before we get into the insurance into the group, we want to make sure that everybody's still valid at that time.
Okay. So my question, I'm just asking because I have to.
No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah. So my question to the next one is, why do we have to pass through you instead of going through the actual insurance company?
I'm not trying to be greedy. I'm trying to share. Okay. So this is.
No, I just want to make sure.
Yeah. No, it's a good question. I'm just laughing because at the beginning, people did not understand the vision, right? What is the vision here, right? What is the vision? We can do it individually. Trust me. You can get up, go and, look for the market. Before I get this group together, it took me 7 years. 7 years to put the group together and to find all, the many things that we need to put the group together. And because of that, I was insurance agent myself. I have three different licenses in insurance. I went through that. I work with 3 different companies when it comes to insurance to be able to immerse myself and understand how the system works. Yes, we can do it individually. Just like any organization in the United States, they provide the same benefit to the employees. It's the same model that we're doing also. But if you look at it carefully, I work for a company at Boston Scientific where my benefit, because that's first off, without doing anything, it's like twice my salary to begin with. And then when you pay more, you can actually increase your benefit as well. That's what they call a pool. That's why I was saying that. Let's say you want 500,000, you pay a different price for it. You pay a different premium for it. So why do we come together? We come together because we don't have enough people in our community to come together and be that force, that voice that can speak to the problem that we're going through. That's one. So it's not like you're coming to me. I'll say that we're coming together. So imagine that the Ivorian community, the Nigerian community, the Liberian community, all the West African community, because the East Coast, they are settled. They have the system already. Trust me, you cannot go into the Somali community and they will accept you like this. No. But for us, Ivorian, Liberian, Nigerian, Ghanaian, we still have the opportunity to come together and be strong. So each community going individually, trust me, we're not going to win with them. We cannot win. And that's why I'm doing this, right? Because I understood something when it comes to this. The more we come together, we can ask for more. We can ask for more. We can ask for more benefit. We can ask for, we can negotiate more. And that's why I'm doing this. I could have just said, oh, I'm done, right, with my community, so I don't care about other communities. But that's not how it works, because we're all connected one way or another. So that's why I'm coming to you, so we can work together. Because the more people we get, the more we can resolve the issue, not necessarily for us, but for the elder people and for the people who are much more vulnerable in the community.
I don't know. I'm not sure if you answer my question regarding why are we paying directly insurance company?
Why you're paying directly to me for now and not the insurance? Because the insurance company has a contract with us for now.
Okay.
That's the only reason.
I got you. Okay, I have any question? I think I'm.
That's it.
But again, trust me, if you have more questions, I'm more than happy to answer.
Anytime we think about questions, we'll call him and then talk to him about it.
So I have a question outside of the insurance. It
Yeah,
seems that you have some knowledge regarding members' benefits and stuff. Besides insurance, is there any benefit or are there any benefits that you are giving to your members?
Yeah,
We
there's,
want to
yep.
make sure. Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, go ahead. I was just nodding, yeah. Go ahead, finish your question.
No, we're trying to make sure that, we can provide as possible for our members. And we just need someone to be pretty much like the trainer person
Mhm.
to us to be able to get
Yeah,
benefits for our members here.
yep. Okay, so to be fully transparent, all the benefit that I'm looking for right now, I always start with the Ivorian community as a test, right?
Right.
And then I can expand. So beside the insurance, part of the benefit, we do have housing program here in the United States with first-time home buyer programs. Sometimes we think that, you need to get the money before you have your own house, right? But sometimes there's money there for people to buy houses. We don't even know it. So that's one thing that we're doing. Computer literacy is another thing that we're working on. Many of our people are not computer literate. You guys know that,
Yeah.
That's a benefit that we need definitely in our communities. We need somebody to be able to help people. I'll give you a simple example. The person that we lost in my community, I was helping that person to pay rent, to pay their own rent through the county. Unfortunately, they sent her an email. Just respond to that email to confirm that it's you. It's you requesting that help. Never responded to the email, never get that help until I found out and provided my personal email, confirm it for them so they can get the benefit to get the rental assistance. Just an example. Another thing that we're trying to do is to go back home. Like we're here, how do we support our people back home instead of sending, money all the time when something happens? So we're working with EcoBank. I don't know if you know that bank, but it's a Pan-African bank that covers multiple countries in Africa. So we're working with them to see how we can get more benefit for our members here and also people who we let back home in a way that, not you're getting how many calls a day because somebody's in need of maybe going to the pharmacy and getting some, medical emergency. So we're trying to resolve all of them. It's not,
So like,
I'll say,
and help with.
Yep.
What does it help you with? Like your community EcoBank.
And again, I started with basics, like medical stuff, right? But also they can help you set up your own business. If you want to set up your own business, you know how it's hard, like back home, to set up your own business when you're here. They're going to require some funds. You have to provide evidence of your income and things like that. We don't want to go through this hassle. It's too much. And that's one point that discouraged a lot of people from even going back home and thinking about investment back there. So how do we get some partners who are still there? And for us here, how do we partner with those organizations to get the best benefit? So that's why I prefer to talk in terms of organization, for us coming together to look at the bigger picture as opposed to going individually, and then trying to find our own solution. Sometimes it works, but sometimes you kind of hit your head and you get disappointed and you stop.
Okay, good. I think I must say thank you, Guy, and let me listen to Michael, and of course we can.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. I think if you need more info, if you want to call me directly, I'm much more than happy to hear back from you guys.
Sure.
Okay, guys, thank you for the presentation. At least my president question, most of our question was answered. And I think when we get back, we'll discuss. If we have any other question, we'll be able to call you back again.
Yeah.
and see.
Yeah.
I wanted the board chairman to be on, but he tried the possible, but he couldn't get on. But like I told you, I got a report. I want to send it over to the transcript so they can be able to go through it and listen to the presentation too. And then if there's anything, you can, ask whether they want to listen more to you, then they will let me know, then we'll get back to you.
Got it. Yeah. Yep. Thank you so much. And also my apologies because I'm not in my. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So we can share this video and make sure we can use it pretty much for members. But it is a very good program.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Totally appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah. If you need more info, let me know. We can set us up.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Do you have an enrollment time?
Say that again.
Do you have
Enrollment time.
a date of enrollment, or it can be any time?
It could be anytime.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be anytime, and we can. Yeah. Could be anytime. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
All right.